What's going on, everybody? All right, we'll get started in a minute. Let's talk a little bit of market sentiment while we let some people filter on in here. I like to wait till about 40 people in here before we really get started with going through the charts and stuff so we don't have to repeat them. This, that, the other, this. Yeah, I did not get camera ready this morning. I had an issue with my sump pump. We had people over here. I know none of you care about that. You just want to make money. I just wanted to let you know. I had a chaotic morning. So we're going to get ready to get going here. And a couple things. Let's talk about Tesla first, guys. We had some really nasty Tesla on Customer Appreciation Day or whatever the heck you want to call it, Investor Day. Elon tanked the company. I mean, let's be real. Elon tanked the effing company last night. We're down 8%. He's talking about He's talking about doing production in Mexico, all sorts of shit. And here's the thing with Tesla, guys. Let's be real. It had to come down some. I mean, let's delete all this. Let's talk about Tesla for just a second before we get into the day trading here. All right. So we haven't pulled back enough yet. So what are we sitting at now? We're at 186.93. So let's pop a line because we can't see it on our chart. So we're at right around here, right there. That's good enough. Let's see if that's even a 25% retracement yet. Because have we technically broke out of the uptrend? No, we sure the hell haven't. We're literally sitting exactly at a 25% retracement right here. What does that tell me, people? It tells me that we are not in the downtrend yet. We're not in the downtrend yet. Yes, we sold off 8%, but you've got to realize something, guys. We went from 101.81 to 218 on Tesla in about 30 trading days, okay? 30 trading sessions. Insane. 110% on Tesla. Insane. So while I'm not saying I'm bullish on Tesla, and Tesla's inevitably going to hit 220, 225, which a lot of people are calling for, I will say this. I said that Tesla's going to brush that 200 MA before it comes out. It's coming really close because the longer we trade sideways, that MA starts to catch up with you because it's a reactionary indicator. It's lagging. It's not front running. It's a lagging indicator. So we're getting it caught up here. This is the line. This is what we're looking at right here. This line, because this is our 25% retracement line, and we stay above that, and I mean we could bounce pretty substantially here. And then we've got our wick low area, which is right here, 187.61. I mean, we're just below it here. You give it a little bit, maybe I would say 185 is where, I would like to see the bounce. And then if we lose this 181 wick right about this area here, then we're coming down. Then we're sniffing 150 soon. All right, now we got some more people in here. That was just a little sentiment about Tesla. I wanted to give you guys something, bonus really quick. Once a week, I try to give you a little sneak peek trade as well. I gave you one yesterday. We talked about ALZN. Hasn't really done much. It is up another 4%. All right. Since we talked about it yesterday, which was right in here, guys, it was at 53 cents. It hit 57 cents. So that's already 6 to 7%, just like that, with no volume. When it starts to actually get some volume going on in there, and I understand there's a shelf offering, this and that. I understand all those things, but I'm just talking about it's one to watch. All right, let's get started. SPY first. We always do the SPY. And we are 392.52. Oh, what an ugly chart we have here. Let's hide these MAs. Let's hide that VWAP. Get a nice clean chart here. Immediately, we can see the trend line. I mean, easily. This trend line is pretty stinking self-explanatory. There it is. That's what we're watching. So that would be my major bounce area I'm personally looking at here. And our 4 o'clock open, because we did gap down overnight. So we're looking at that 4 o'clock open price, which is right here. And then our secondary level, which was our pre-market high, which was kind of, it was a little average of the yesterday's low and the pre-market high. So those are 3 levels we're going to look at. So for me personally, I'm not touching 392, a loss of 392, an assured loss, not like, a little one candle breaks down below it. I'm talking, let's dip that 392, kind of hang out there and take that next step down. That's my put entry. I'm not touching anything today between that 392.08 and 393.03. So that dollar range is my do not touch zone for now. I don't really want to play too much in this zone, but bounces off this zone, meaning rejection at the upper zone, losses zone, that's where we would play it. And then if we do break that 393.88 area, into let's even push that a little higher. Let's give it just 394. That's where I'm bullish. A break a hold of 394 is where I'm bullish. We'll pop fibs on. We'll do all that sort of other stuff as the market opens when we come back towards this chart in general. 395 is a major point of confluence and has been for a very, very long time. We also understand that. So we know we're sitting at a pretty serious level here, folks. So that's overall what I'm looking at. Let's pop on this daily. And then this is the other thing I'm looking at, which is right here. It's this trend line. We're coming back, we're coming down to test it. That's my trend line. That's what I'm seeing is this trend right here. Let me pop it up a little bit. There we go. So, I mean, that's what we're looking at. And that's about 387, 388 area. So if we lose the areas we're at now, you can see what we're looking at. It's coming like a freight train. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. All right, let's do our top runners of the day. Let's pop on these, and we'll go from where we got XELA. This thing has been downtrending into oblivion for about 53 years, I'd say, maybe 64 years, something like that. And we're at, what, 6 cents now? We're up 44%. 6 cents. That's just insane to me. Some of these stocks, the way they have sold off is just absolutely insane. I'm going to pop on the 5-minute chart here. Immediately, I'm already seeing that it wants to break this high a day, this 7 cents. So on a wick high, even right here, coming into market open, if we break that wick high to 7.071, I would like an entry here. Also, what I'm looking at is, and that would be a quick scalp because we could have a 2-3%, strong candle push and then pull back from there. We're going to wait and see what happens as far as that goes. So also we have our high a day, and then we have this area here that we kind of found a pickup of support on our 5-minute. So that's what we're watching. These are 2 areas I'm personally watching. I'd love to see a bounce off of this 6.5 cents, and then that push up. That's what I would love to see happen. That would be our dream scenario, would be a bounce and then the pickup there. On the 1-minute chart, that's about what I'm looking at. I'm not going to take anything within our triangle. So this area here is kind of set up. You don't really want to touch this area. This is the area I'm not touching at all right in here. So this area just is do not touch zone for me. And we'll mark it that way. There we go. So I'm not touching that area. Let's watch what happens. Either that impulsive break over 7 cents, 7.1 cents, or that bounce in this area here. We could actually pull this down a little bit more, right about that area. So that's what we're looking at XELA. BRXT is getting a couple strong candles here. Kind of exactly where you'd expect him to. An impulsive break where we hit our head about 4 or 5 times. When we did break over it, it was an impulsive break. So now we're going to come back. We're going to retest it. We want to pick up support again. So what we want to see is, we want to see it come back at least about this area here, pick up a support, and then that push. That's where we'll take that entry. Ideally about, right about here. About where we're at now, but not taking it now. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. I'm not saying I like the trade at this moment, but this is where I like the trade. I'd love to see it pull back a little more and then a continuation push up. That or break over, say, 403, a couple cents above the wick high we're at now, because we did attempt to break it and we couldn't quite get there. It's like, say 405, actually. The 405 area is where I would like an entry if we don't get any more further pullback. So those are the 2 areas I'm looking at there. So ideally in this, and then we have some heavy support as well on the uptrend here, you could see. And that's also where we hit that rejection. So it's kind of a double rejection point. We had this wedge going on. We broke bearish below the wedge, traded sideways. Okay. But now you could also see where this line, where it was support, became resistance. So this area, if we break out of this area here, it should be a pretty strong push at this level. So that's kind of what we're watching for. BRPX is a 1 candle, 1 hitter quitter. All right, let me put a fibs on this one first of all. Let me see what we got. All right, we are broken below that area here. This looks like it's this. Oop, didn't mean to do that. There we go. All right, this looks like a smaller float. Okay, 20 million float here. Not teeny tiny, but small enough where I kind of do like what it's doing here. So on this one, I mean, over 60 cents. I'm not really touching at the break of the golden fibs breakout. I want to see it touching that 60 to 61 cents before I would even mess with it in any way. And then obviously we do have a little bit of support, double bottom pickup. We're picking up here very short term. I'm talking on 5-minute chart here. So those are the two areas we're kind of watching. I'm not really. I mean, you could have a riskier entry. I'm going to dot this entry. It's riskier around this like 54-cent area. I'm sorry, 57-cent area. That would be the riskier entry because that's where we have had some resistance. And as we break over it, we could get a little bit of impulsive break. But I really do feel better wait until about that 60-cent area on this one. And then the same thing, you could see this downtrend where we're just in this downtrend. So if we do break through this, it should be a quite impulsive break. All right, we got about 3 minutes to market open. Desktop Metal's one I used to really like a lot. So this is interesting to me. It's one that's known to get some really nice runs as well. It's a bigger cap, which is fine, but in general, I just want to chart it anyway because it's one I've had my eye on overall. All right. So as you can see, we're range bound right now in this area here. So a break out of this range I might like for a possible nice strong push up. That's kind of what I'm looking at as far as this one goes. And I do want to check real quick. All right. Rita on the 15-minute chart. Let's see where it's holding. Update this chart. Let's delete everything on this one. Because it's still holding strong. It broke higher highs yesterday, which is very interesting to me. Kind of watching this area here. This is what struck my fancy on this one. So while this is like a higher priced stock, you can buy partial shares. It's not our traditional under $10 type stocks that we look for, but over say $93, we could have an interesting entry for 5 to 10%. I think we could possibly test that $100 area that I was watching for yesterday. Yesterday we got like an 8% push from this one when we broke the levels yesterday we were watching. We ended up finally breaking over that $90 and had a nice push up to like $95. We had like a 5-6% potential in this one. Nothing crazy, but I'm watching this trend channel on the 15-minute chart, and above that $93, we could get a nice little pop up to that upper trend line there. Could be a decent option play too. I'm not sure how the volume is on these options. I've never played them. Okay, so volume's decent on them. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one as well. And then watch a couple more of these. This is actually the one I wanted to pull up because it looks like we're sitting at our golden fibs. We're pretty stinking close to it, according to this chart here. And we are. So this one here is going to be, HPX is going to be I know it's up 173%. It was insane yesterday. This is one of those small floats, though. It's not a terribly small float, but it's a reasonable float. It's one of those that really it's interesting to me. So for this one, above $30.80, 30.80. So I'm gonna put a line at that 30.80 level because I want to give it a little further. That 30.25 of the 618. I want to give it a little more than that. I want to go above this wick high here. So I'll say like 30. Yeah, let's say $31 exactly. We'll say $31. All right, and we're gonna delete this. We know that's our golden fibs area. All right, I'm gonna box it. And we know we're sitting right at the golden fibs top. If you're listening, this one's sitting right at that golden fibs. It's one to watch. Long term too, it could kind of float in this area for a couple days, but a break above that $31 area, this one could be interesting. And don't forget, it hit $50 yesterday. So, you can get some really nice breaks on this. We've been having halts. A lot of people are very, very interested in this stock. It's got the eyes on it. It was a big hitter yesterday. It was a top runner behind Retta and RKDA, which was a reverse split. Wasn't even a runner in most part. All right, we're at 8:30. Let's pop back over to our pre-market. and see what we got going on. Let me pop on that 1 minute. All right. So I actually like the entry right here at 392. Set the order. Don't market buy it here. We break it back over 392 to 393 again. That's where I like the entry on this one. Insane volatility right here. I like that. We actually like that as day traders. But so we know that a couple things. We know that we're not going to let it go below our wick low. So our stop loss level will be 368 at the most. But I do like it at this 393, 394 area here. But you have to be ready to sell because this is going to dump heavy and fast. I like how the second level, we do have a couple walls on the second level here. Order books flying. We have really, really strong volume. Candle 1. This is higher risk here. You know, we had 590K on this candle. I'd love to see at least that, if not more, on the next candle, which we're getting. That's what we want to see. We want to see the first candle pop and then, you know, it going. And also what we like to see is we're not immediately dumping on the second candle. We are maintaining. It looks like it wants to pop, which is what we're looking for. It's really, really trying hard, though. There's a battle on this one for sure. Please, on this one, have those stop losses set at that 368, though, guys. This is really, really critical because these candles move so quickly. I would hate someone to get absolutely, you know, wrecked and lose 10, 12% instead of your 6, 7%. It's very important here. And if you're a little, you open up a little more, you do 365. You know, give it a couple pennies. That wick low, that double bottom, then immediately pops. I know that can happen quite often with stocks like that. So I would say 365. Let's check our other charts. XCLA is doing much ado about nothing. We want to watch that bounce at 6.5 cents, right around there. If we bounce here, all right, if this is what we end up doing, if we end up pulling a bounce and we take a nice strong bounce here, I like the entry back up above 0.66 or 6.6 cents. Not here, 6.6 cents on the way down, then the push. If we don't get that, I'm not touching it till up in that 7 cent area we identified earlier. ONCS doing nothing. MTC doing nothing. Let me pop this back on. All right, so this one's oof. I do like this. Even if we end up getting stopped out right here, guys, which I'm not overly concerned about, this is one to watch the next little while here. It really is. This is the kind of candle action you want to see for something that could really have a strong push. But it looks like we're going to get stopped out here. Yeah, there's our stop loss. All right, guys. So this one at this level. So now if you didn't take that trade, and it's fine if you didn't. It's good if you didn't. You didn't lose money. Still the same entry. I still like the entry above 392. So be ready for that one, 392, because this might just be a wick out and we come right back up. It could dump down to, 320. But 392 is that level I'm watching, because it looks like it is going to dump some here. So now we would watch our this area. This would be the first area I'm kind of watching right here for a bounce. And if we do come down and bounce off this area, if we come down to this area, then that push back up above the 366 would be the level I like. I still like this chart, guys. 2 candles, it's so hard for me to be like, well, it's going to dump the rest of the day, this and that. This chart's got some really great action. We have a pre-market that wasn't the greatest. Nothing insane out of the ordinary here. Okay, that is definitely not right. I have to keep it on pre-market. Yeah, like the biggest one is 34%. So it's nothing that's like, like super exciting, overly exciting for me. So unfortunately, this is what we got. And this is the chart that's given us the action that I like to see. So we're probably going to flip over to, all right, so there was our entry right here at that 0.66, 6.6 cents. That's our entry. So let's watch this one here. And if you're not in it, I don't like this candle action here. I'll set a buy at 0.68, 0.068. I want to see us push this wick high area here. Yeah, I still think this one's going to end up pushing. I really do. All right, this ONCS looks kind of interesting here, right at our 270 level that we're at. I'm not saying take an entry, and it's just looking interesting right now. Let me pop a couple lines on here, see what I like. Got some nice support at this area. Oop. Let me check that. Tiny float. Okay. Yeah, that 270 was actually the entry. Tiny float on this one. So let's wait and see what happens over the next couple minutes here. I want to see a strong push over that 285 area at this point. And we'll see from there. All right, what do we got going on? What you do about nothing? Nasty market today. This is not the correct, yeah, this Weeble's delayed a little bit today. All right, since we don't have too much exciting in this area, let's watch our SPY a little bit, see what's going on here, and our Tesla. Both of those. Those are the two we want to kind of watch here. We know our zones on the SPY. We're looking for that loss of trend. Do you see how our trend line moves when I put it on the minute chart? It's so damn annoying. All right. There we go. We'll put on the 5 minute. All right, so we've picked up another trend line here. On the 5. Remember, we're not trading our dollar zone there. We're not trading that zone. Oof. All right, Tesla. That right there is pretty nasty for me. We're either going to bounce hard at this area here and would take an entry back up over 187.20. Not if this candle pushes 187.20. If we get the hard bounce. Or we're going to lose it altogether. Actually, I'm gonna pull this up some. I'm not gonna have Tesla fake me out. We're gonna go up a little bit here. 187.50. All right. So this candle's pulling back up. If we pull next candle, if we pull back down below like 186.55, that's where I think that puts would start paying. And I've got the 180 for $1.45 is the one I pulled up. 180 put Tesla for $1.45. I'm not in this put. I just have to give entries ahead of time so people have time to get them. That's the put I like. And then the call, if that's the area it ends up being, we've got the 195 at $1.28. And we are obviously an indecision. I'm putting both these in the chat here. Again, that does not mean I'm in this play. I don't know why it didn't comment. That is so strange. Why didn't my comment pop up? All right, it did pop up. So again, below that wick low, like 186.55 is when I'd like that entry. And this I'm gonna pull up a little more. These wicks are pretty volatile, so we're raising our call entry some. We're not going to get caught today. All right, so calls are on hold. Calls are on chill. They're on ice. We're not there. Yeah. Let me see what the SPY's doing. Let me compare. All right, so SPY bounced right off our trend line. Pretty stinking bullish candle there. I'm not biting. We're not biting in our candle today. Remember, we're not biting in our box. We're not biting. We have calls on ice. We know the put level. I've got a put level. I don't have a call level yet. Our put level is 186.55. I don't have a call level yet. I'm just not there. I'm not convinced on this Tesla, I'll tell you what. So those 180 puts are at $1.35 right now. Not $1.45, and I'm going to buy 2. might scale into more at some point. I'm starting small today. A little different than the way we traded yesterday. I'm starting small and I could scale in if I choose to scale in. All right, I'm already selling one. I'm lowering this. I don't like the double bottom bounce there. That's the trend line I'm watching. SPY's probably bouncing, same thing. Yeah, SPY's sitting in our super tight consolidated zone here that we're not touching. We're not touching this zone. We're not touching this zone today, boys and girls. All right, I'm out of my other put. I will rebuy again at the same exact level. All right, so let's watch and see if we get that rejection at our 393.25-ish area. And I'm going to pop on the 5 on here to watch what's going on. Because this Tesla, I believe this Tesla comes right back down at this level. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I believe it comes right back down. That's how the Tesla chart behaves. What are we doing on SPY? SPY's kind of coming back down. And Tesla's not. So Tesla is outperforming the SPY at this point a little bit, not too much here. Not too much. Like I said, I do believe that Tesla comes back down here. I'm really hard pressed to not see some continuation on that downtrend, guys. But we're watching and we're going to see. It's getting some heavy resistance here. All right. So guys, I got to close out some Kroger swings. We have about 150% up right here. And I'm going to close this. Let me check the Kroger chart real quick. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I won't close it at this moment. All right, so Tesla is holding up this area here. It's creating higher highs on this chart. So let's watch and see what happens here. I'm taking my time today, guys. To be honest, we're gonna take our time with our trading. We had a couple L's yesterday. I mean, we had more wins than losses, but we did have a couple losses yesterday. So I'm gonna take my time with this. We already have Tesla where sold one for 3% win and it sold one for a 7% loss. So I'm technically red right now. So we're just going to take our time with this. I still believe Tesla's going to come down, but we know that could be mistaken. SPY's consolidating. It's in a nasty little consolidation. This is literally a 20-cent zone. This is typical of Thursdays. This is a Theta Thursday SPY right here. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to see that, hear that with the Kroger. That was a nice trade, and I'm glad that you guys held on to it with me. I know we floated around 20% down, 25% down the last couple days. It was range bound though. I think people were apprehensive because of earnings. It was a very bearish market, but we were bullish on Kroger, so it was kind of a tough mix here. If we lose 188.75 on Tesla, it could be interesting at this point. I do see a little bit of bearish divergence. I'm personally not taking a play right now. I'm waiting. I'm sitting on the sidelines when you have a lick your paws kind of day. I just, you could test yourself too. You don't have to jump into every trade. I'm just giving some levels right now. I'm very, very cautious at this point. But if we do come down and lose this level here, I think that we could come down in, technically speaking, we should come down to the 187 area. However, Tesla has not proven that it doesn't want to keep running today. And remember what we said about Tesla at the beginning of the show. We're sitting right at that 25% retracement, right at $186. So, that's something to consider as well. Definitely in some consolidation here. Netflix is curling up a little bit. See what happens here. All right, we're going to pop on over to the Discord. Today was kind of like a very lame day trades-wise. Let me check on our top runner. All right, so XELA came down, bounced. So if you took our entry at 0.66 to that 0.72, you're up 10% right now on XELA. It did exactly what we expected, took the bounce, and then we were going to take that entry again above 0.6 cents, or you know what I mean, 0.066. So you're up about 10% there on that one if you took that trade off that bounce. We're hanging out in this. I like this chart, guys. I like this chart. Look at that candle. We came down, we bounced off our zone, which same thing. I said if we bounce at the 350, I like entry above that 365. So if you listened and took entry on that, you're up 10% right now. And it does look like these are halt-worthy candles. Like, I really like this chart. It's interesting to me. This. If you guys want to know, Amy, what chart should I watch today? This is the chart. This is the chart right here. And ONCS, just a bunch of just wicks. I mean, each of these wicks is 290 from 284. I mean, it's 3-4% just the wick up above that 290 level. This one's pretty interesting as well. Pop back on the XELA. All right, at this point here, if you are in that XELA, this is where I'd look for that bounce for continuation right about here. I wouldn't want to see it fall past that. And again, our BRXT, if you took it, I suggest the entry. If we bounce, take the entry above 365. It hit 412. That's like 20%, guys. Like, I'm telling you, I like this chart today. Top watch. Number one by far and away, top watch of the day right here. Those were pretty much the only two that we're looking at with any sort of excitement. This one didn't do much of anything. Back to our recently viewed. SPY's still hanging out in our area, and Tesla is just not. It doesn't have the oomph right now, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to put the hex on Tesla. Anyone's in Tesla calls, but it just doesn't have the oomph at this point. You guys know how Tesla behaves when it's very bullish. This isn't it. So we're going to pop on over to the Discord. I'm sorry it's boring. I wish we made some money. This shit sucks. And I'll just say that this sucks. It was very boring. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you have some levels. We're coming close to that Tesla level where I do think it starts to come down. See you in the Discord. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Bye.